We're here today to talk about an ordinance that's going to be voted on by full city council today that would require landlords to be responsible for picking up the excrement left by dogs from pet owners who aren't responsible for their own pet's behavior. It's already an ordinance with a fine of $50 to $500 if you take your animal out for a walk and don't pick up their poop. Well, the problem is that the city council has decided that a better way to do this, and it is a rat control measure, would be to fine the landlords. Unfortunately, what's going to happen is landlords are no longer going to be welcoming to dogs in the city, and that would be a huge shame. Chicago has always been a very pet-friendly city, and this is the opposite of pet-friendly. This will force people who have pets to make a choice between their housing and their pets. And unfortunately, the sad reality is many times housing is going to be the choice. And what's going to happen to these animals? They're going to be turned in or abandoned, and this is not a good solution. And that's why we are asking the aldermen to oppose this measure, or at least to put it on hold until they can assess better solutions to the rat problem than putting a burden on landlords and closing down pet-friendly housing to the public in Chicago. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Sherry Travis. I am the former director of Chicago Animal Control and currently a landlord in Chicago. I have numerous properties on the north side, and I'm very concerned that this ordinance is misguided. As a landlord, my concern is that there's already so many obligations and burdens that are placed on landlords. So for example, they just passed a $500 million property tax increase. They just created garbage fees. Our water bills have gone up. There are so many fees and burdens that are being placed on landlords. And now with this one, I'm now supposed to be responsible for checking my property every single day to make sure that someone's dog hasn't defecated on my property. A $500 fine is so absurd that I will no longer be able to rent to people who have dogs because I'm not going to risk a $500 fine because somebody else is irresponsible. There's an ordinance that's been on the books for about 15 or 20 years. It places the burden correctly on the person who's not cleaning up after their pet, and that's what we believe really needs to be enforced. Enforce the existing ordinance. Let's table this discussion. Let's look at the rat issue in Chicago. Let's try to figure out a comprehensive solution. One of the things that we believe in is a program called Cats at Work, which is with Treehouse Humane Society, where they're actually using feral cats to create the ecological balance to make sure that the rat population is kept in check. But the rat problem in Chicago is a big issue. It is not just about dog waste, and we really need to look at this in a comprehensive way. So we're asking the aldermen to come back with a better plan than just putting this burden on landlords, which is going to create Chicago being the most dog-unfriendly city in the country. Thank you.
Good morning, Owen Pittman, landlord. To me, this is another attempt to extort and exploit landlords. We take the burden for every shortfall of the city. And today we're launching a campaign against the city council and its mayor. So we no longer are going to be the burden bearer of this city. We're the heart and soul. The middle class is shrinking, and something has to be done about it. Thank you.